Well, it's still summer down here in Southern California, but it doesn't make much difference. You can do that basically all year long down here in the Southland, but the calendar tells us summer is almost over. We are in the middle of August, and the baseball season has only 6 weeks to run. Here at Anaheim Stadium, the Mariners trying to snap a tremendous slide. They have lost 8 in a row, and the Angels trying to take advantage of the win last night, back it up with another one as they go with the kid who has been the wonder kid for them, Jered Weaver, who is 8-0 on the year, opposed by Felix Hernandez, 2 wonder kids to tell you the truth. It has been incredible. Hello, everybody. With Dave Henderson, I'm Dave Niehaus. When you look at what both these young pitchers did the first 7 starts of their major league career, it's phenomenal how much they shadow each other. Look at that. A 1.15 ERA for Weaver and for Felix Hernandez. But as time goes on, you begin to catch up to youth. And since the first 7 starts, Hindu, although Mr. Weaver has been beaten, look at the ERA.
Well, you start looking at it, and we call it the league gets to know you a little bit. Other people call it the sophomore jinx. Once you go around this league a couple of times, they get to know a little bit more about you, and that's when you see those numbers start to go up. Weaver, his ERA is up 3 points, and of course Felix went up 3 points. Once they get to know you, they know exactly what to throw. Then you have to become a pitcher, and that's what these guys will find out, what kind of pitcher they really are.
Jamie Moyer had a heck of a start last night. However, in the 7th inning, after his relief came in and finally fetched up another kid, Vladimir Guerrero, who's done it to some of the best of them with the bases loaded, hit that gapper into right center field, scored all 3, and for all intents and purposes, that was the ball game, and the Mariners had lost their 8th in a row. But today's another day, tonight's another night. Back with the lineups right after this. Dave Niehaus along with Dave Henderson, getting set for game 2 of this 4-game series. Felix Hernandez gets the start for the Mariners tonight, getting a respite as his opponent, Jered Weaver, gets out there to take his warm-up tosses. And let's look at the lineup, Andy.
Of course, we're going to throw you a curve. Leading off, Willie Bloomquist. No Ichiro tonight in the lineup. Lopez, Beltre, Ibanya, Sexton, Brashard, Jojima, Bencourt, and Snelling. You see the 13-game hitting streak by Beltre. Finally on a hot streak. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Beltre in the middle of that lineup, starting to do what the Mariners want him to do. The Rico scouting report of Jeff Weaver, the phenom. 8-0 speaks for itself, but 11 starts this season. He's got a good fastball, slider, and curve, but the deception. He hides the ball very, very well, so the radar gun has no effect. It's his deceptive delivery that gives him the wins. Anderson, Willits, the rookie in center field. Rivera in right, taking over for Guerrero. Kendrick at first base. Figgins, a do-all man. He plays second base tonight. Cabrera, Esteras, and Napoli. And the defense that is first, or you want to call it last, in defense in the league, that's who'll be taking the field.
Yeah, they've made more errors than anybody. As you have a look at Jered Weaver. Jered Weaver, you're talking about that deception. Not quite Louis Tiant, but close enough to Louis Tiant as far as his body turn is concerned. And that's what gives him his deception. Should he win tonight or have a no decision and win the next time and go 9-0, as Willie Bloomquist steps in and leads it off, as Willie takes a strike on the inside corner, he would be the first rookie to go 9-0 in 56 years. Whitey Ford of the Yankees went 9-0 in his rookie year of 1950. 79 delicious degrees tonight, and the count goes to a ball and a strike. Ichiro, nothing wrong with Ichiro, just being given the night off. He's played in 360 consecutive games, and he'll be in this game before the night is over, I'm quite sure, either as a pinch runner or defense, or maybe even as a pinch hitter, although Mike Hargrove said he wanted to keep him away from the plate tonight to give him a night off with a bat in his hand. And that breaking ball is low and outside to Willie.
And most people don't understand a mental rest is just as important as a physical rest for a ball player, because your body gets used to playing every day. It's the mind that goes erratic sometimes.
Bloomquist down in that good sinker. Willie had a 5-game hitting streak snapped last night. So 1 away. And Jose Lopez will be the hitter. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Jose Lopez. Got the win against the Mariners on the 3rd of July in Seattle. And he drops that change right over the outside corner. Boy, has he got pinpoint control or what?
Now, control is the big asset, and of course that deceptive delivery where he crossfires right-handed batters.
Slider, and man, that could have been strike 3. It was that close.
Now, there's a lot of stats, and we give you one right here, 6 for 23. You see the 261 average. That's not that bad, but this kid has never given up more than 4 runs in any start this year.
And the high fastball fouled away out of Cal State Long Beach. Went to Simi High School in the San Simi Valley.
Well, Dave, take a look at this windup where he turns his back, hides the ball, throws the ball kind of across the body so you don't see it all the way. The septum we're talking about.
There's a line drive to left field. So 2 down. Consecutive game streak will be extended if a player plays 1/2 inning on defense, or player completes a time at bat, or makes a pinch running appearance.
Shall not be.
That, however, by itself shall not be considered enough to extend the game streak if he goes in as a pinch runner. Beltre taking high. Mariners getting beat 5-2 last night. The Mariners have scored only 2 runs the last 21 innings. Great change. And a fastball blows him down. Not blows him down yet, but goes by him. And the count 2-2. Elvin Escobar, winner in last night's ball game. We went 7 innings. Gave up only 1 run. That fastball in on his hands, and it's fouled right back to our right.
Now, Beltre with his 13-game hitting streak, been swinging the bat very well. But as you say, the Mariners only scored a couple of runs. They have to figure out a way to get some hits with men in scoring position. Those tough at-bats. And I explained that why when nobody's on base, the pitcher gets behind the count. He'll throw a pitch where if you get a base hit, fine, he keeps you in the yard. But they don't do that with runners in scoring position. They throw pitches to get you out.
Fastball just inside. The A's being beaten today in the first game of their doubleheader by Kansas City 7-1, but leading in the nightcap 1-0. And again, hanging in there, Adrian Beltre. The Yankees-Red Sox 5-game series has started. Day portion going to the Yankees big, 12-4 at Fenway. And the nightcap is tied at 7-7 in the 5th. And a high fly ball popped up into shallow left field, and Jered Henderson makes the easy catch. So a strikeout, 2 fly balls to left, and no problem for Jered Weaver here in the 1st. Mariners don't score. Here come the Angels.
Welcome back, everybody. No score, no hits, and the Mariners go down in order in the 1st. And the batting order for the Angels, they'll be throwing out Sean Figgins again. Leading off is Torres, Cabrera, Guerrero, he's a DH today, getting off his feet a bit. Anderson, Rivera, Kendrick, Napoli is a catcher. Willis, the rookie out there in center field. The Rico scouting report on Felix. He's got a great fastball. Of course, you know about his changeup. Got to keep the pitch count low.
Last time he pitched was Sunday night in 100-degree heat down in Arlington, Texas, and he threw more pitches in a game than he ever has before, 117. It worked 5 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 runs. 2 balls, no strikes to count on Sean Figgins. Man, if you want to beat the Angels, you've got to keep off base. There's a nice strike at 95 miles an hour. Mike Scioscia serving the second day of his suspension. Nice easy one hopper. Sexton will run it to the bag.
Now let's take a look at that defense. Of course, we saw Sexton at first base. He's back. Lopez second, Bencourt short, Beltre at third, Ibanez in left field, Bloomquist back in center field, the new face. Chris Snelling out there in right field taking over for Ichiro. Jojima behind the plate. Felix's numbers, 130 strikeouts, 142 innings. That's the number we're watching. Trying to keep him below the 165, 75 plateau to try to keep him healthy. Don't want him on a disabled list like some of the other young starters in the league.
And right at the knees to the count of the ball and a strike. And Felix is bringing that good Hummer with him, 97 miles an hour. And his bat halfway through that time. Mariners still up 7 games to 6 on the Angels, but the Angels have beat the Mariners 4 straight times. There's a line drive to left field. That's going to be in front of Ibanez, and he kicks it towards center field. We'll wait and see how they score it. They're going to score a double all the way.
Now he went into a dive and a slide, and a decision the outfielder has to make. Can I get to it? And then once you go for it, you got to keep it in front of you. He tries to block it. He knows he's not going to catch it. Tries to block it and keep it in front of him. It goes off his chest and kicks to left center. And a decision an outfielder has to make. You only get a split second to make it, but you got to smother that ball once you know you're not going to catch it.
So the 16th double of the year for Izturis. Here's Orlando Cabrera. High chopper off the plate. That's probably going to be a base hit. Just hang on to it. A little bad luck here for Felix Hernandez in the first inning, right off the plate.
Now let's take a look at this. Felix's windup. Watch the front foot. Where the front foot lands. It lands right going toward home plate. This dirt area right next to it, that's Weaver's. He throws across his body. That's why he gets that perception. You see the dirt area right there? He lands way over there. It looks like he's throwing the ball right into a right-hander's ear, and it goes across. So that's what we talk about deception in the delivery.
Vladimir, a little looper into left field, and it's a base hit just out of the reach of Betancourt. Izturis comes in to score. I believe he broke his back.
Oh, I'm sure he broke his back.
Yeah,
with all
there it is.
The kindling out there.
There's all the wood out there.
Well, that's where you're going to pitch, Vladdy, and they found out last night with a slider away, it doesn't work. You throw him inside, you got a chance. It just so happens that the luck is not the Irish with the Mariners now. Your broken back, ball off the plate, Angels 1 run.
So it is Izturis sinking line drive that goes off Ibanez's chest. A high chopper off the plate, and then a little broken bat blooper. And the Angels have 1, 2 on, and 1 down.
And Felix steps off the mound to regroup. Can't do anything about that. You've made your pitches. It's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes the way the ball bounces.
Jojima wants to go out and talk to him.
Now that's Felix calling Jojima out that time. It's you go through the signs 3 times, you still haven't got to what the pitcher wants, then they call you out. He tells Jojima, I want to go this way. In the first inning, you see those numbers. A lot in the first. 10 earned runs.
Swing and a miss. Most of those first inning runs came early in the season. He's been doing all right, tonight being the exception in the first inning. And that's low and inside. Slider, boy, he had a biting slider right at the knees. Henderson didn't have a shot.
Anderson having a little meeting with himself because he's jumping on a fastball down and in, and this ball just disappears down at the back foot, back knee area.
And good hard stuff, and down goes Jered.
Now that's what that slider will do. It'll make you wait a little longer, and all of a sudden 97 miles an hour looks like 100. If you're thinking about that slider in the back of your mind, don't swing too early.
Juan Rivera had the night off last night. It was Rivera who was at the plate a couple of weeks ago when Adam Eaton threw behind him, and after throwing 18 pitches, Eaton was thrown out of the game and was not penalized. That was kind of the seed that was planted for what happened the next time around, what happened Sunday in Arlington. Rivera's had a heck of a year.
One of those classic players that you start as a 4th outfielder, but you hit your way into the lineup, and all of a sudden it's August and you're still in there.
Nice stop by Jojima that time. In. Guerrero at second. Vladimir Guerrero is at first. Didn't go, according to the first base umpire, Rick Reed, the crew chief.
This just misses down. That's a pitch that the Angels hitters usually take a whack at, and Rivera does a nice job. Borderline pitch, ahead in the count, takes it for a ball.
Fastball up, and the sacks are full now. Rivera wasn't sure. Howie Kendrick, the first baseman, will be the hitter. Kendrick played second base last night. And a high chopper. Betancourt has it on the second hop, throws to first, and the side is out here. The Angels get one. They lead the bases loaded, so we are underway on an absolutely lovely evening. 1-0. Halos. Board, especially you folks watching on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 177 countries and aboard ships at sea. And watching around the world in Iraq and Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, Japan. Welcome all. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very fond spot in my heart for AFRS, or EFN now it's called. I got my career start at Armed Forces Radio in New York City for a couple of years. I was there during my military tour. It's great to be chatting with you all one more time. Here is Raul Ibanez leading it off in the second inning, and Weaver with that weird motion that's so effective in and over with a strike.
I think that's why the jury's still out on Weaver. It might be motion, it might be stuff, but once the league gets a good look at him, that deception will be out the window, and then you'll be used to that crossfire effect. And is his stuff good enough to maintain this kind of start?
Well, it gave Louis Tiant a great career, Hindu.
Well, we don't know if he has that kind of stuff as Louis Tiant.
There's a bullet foul back into the stands down the left field line.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the dirt. The one on the right where the left leg is, that's Weaver. When he lands over there, he's crossfiring. The one on the left, that's Felix. He goes straight toward the plate. You have to worry about arm injury, too, when you're throwing across your body.
Down on strikes on the change is Ibanez. Perfect example. The Angels had a left-hander down here. Frank Tanana, who was a fireballer that threw across his body and hurt himself and had to become a finesse pitcher after that, and still pitched many, many years and was a great pitcher.
Two careers.
Yeah, that's right. Sexton. Strike at the knees.
And I think you see the Mariners taking a lot of pitches because they're still trying to figure out that release point to get a clean look at where the ball's coming from.
Slider. Got the top half of the ball and the count of ball and 2 strikes. And he chased a bad ball that time in the dirt outside. So the 3rd strikeout for Jered Weaver. And here comes Big Ben Broussard. He's trying to get a split in that double header with Kansas City. Kansas City won the first game 7-1, and they're in the bottom of the 7th in the nightcap, and Oakland up by only a 1-0 score. Broussard takes high and away.
Yeah, the first time around, the Mariners, Weaver pitched 7 innings. They gave up 1 earned run and had 9 strikeouts. He's already got 3. We thought the Mariners have a better idea the second time they faced him with some of the same things going on, striking out a lot of the hitters.
One on Broussard. And that fastball fouled away. The Angels host the A's in the final 4 games of the year down here. They want to make those meaningful. That reminds me of 1995 when the Mariners went to Texas, the final 4 games of the year, won the first 2 games, and the A's came down here, and the Angels beat them all 4. And they caught the Mariners during regular season play. in '95, and then of course had the now famous playoff game that the Mariners won. Down low. And speaking of Langston, he was pivotal in that game also.
Manager Ron Renicky.
Yeah, for the night.
And Bud Black, pitching coach, going over strategy. Of course, he interviewed for a few managing positions in the winter.
And that sliced into the gap, but too much air under it. And Willits, the rookie out of Oklahoma, is going to get there and make the catch to retire the side. And that's 6 in a row shutdowns by Jered Weaver. And the Angels up 1-0. Tuesday, August the 29th, your Northwest Dodge dealers and the Mariners will give away a new Dodge Mega Cab prior to the game against the Angels. So stop by your participating Northwest Dodge dealership this weekend for your chance at winning a new Dodge Mega Cab. Mike Napoli, the catcher, the hitter, taking the fastball a little high, ball 1. Napoli's been in a bit of a slump. He's only 4 for his last 48. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Napoli had basically taken over the #1 job as a catcher when the Mariners played his club in July. And since he's struggled. Got that good power, however, you make a mistake to it.
And you start looking inside the numbers a bit, and not bad. He has 46 hits, 41 walks, and you figure he's got a good eye, but you look at those numbers, 045 in August. It's a good idea to get some hits to keep your job.
Very pleasant night to pitch. 79 degrees at game time. Ouch.
Well, 79 degrees still hurts a bit when you hit fastball over 90 miles an hour off your ankle. He does have the protector down there, but that ball takes a bite out of the shin, the ankle, the toe, gets everything down there.
Napoli, 24-year-old out of Florida. And that ball didn't get in enough, and he's going to pay the price. As that ball, maybe not, he catches it right at the fence. He just missed getting all of that.
Now Felix going with a challenge, 3-2, and he got the ball in, like you say, just enough on the inside corner to Napoli, and it's way in. And Napoli thinks he's got enough of it, but Banya's got this tracked all the way. Easy play. Warning track power.
Yeah, that's what that was. It kind of had that good click to it, though, didn't it? It sounded like he might have had it all, but he didn't. Well, here's a kid out of the University of Oklahoma, the rookie Reggie Willits. He's a switch hitter, and he was just called up a few days ago.
Well, we know he has good speed. He's had over 40 stolen bases a couple of years in the minor leagues, and our report said he's a slasher. Level swing, puts the ball on the ground, uses his speed.
He had 31 stolen bases at Salt Lake City. He had 327 with the Bees. Doesn't have a heck of a lot of power, only 3 home runs, 39 RBIs. And he got that one as a little dunker, and it's gone out. Be caught out there. Great catch by Bloomquist, who runs it down. Fine running catch by Willie Bloomquist.
Well, he called the action guy. Willis puts the ball in play. Level swing. And Socha says, he's my action guy. I can do anything with him. Look at the speed. He's looking for a couple of base hits here. And Bloomquist playing him in left center. Has to go to right center. Gets a track on this ball. Nice running catch. Takes away a hit from the kid.
Another outstanding play by Willie Bloomquist. He just does the job wherever you put him. And that is down low and inside Sean Figgins. And one up. Mile heat. And a routine fly ball where Banez will make the easy catch in a 1-2-3 second inning here for the Angels. 3 up and 3 down when we come back. Jojima, Betancourt, and Snelling. 1-0. Here's Kenji Jojima to lead it off now in the 3rd inning. The Mariners looking for their first hit against Mr. Weaver, right on the outside corner. Well, the story in the East, the Red Sox leading the 2nd game. They lost this afternoon. Let's have another look at that. So the Red Sox currently 2.5 back. The Yankees won this afternoon, 12-4. 5-game series. This is game 2. That ends on Monday with a day game. And then after that, why, the Yankees fly to Seattle. And the Red Sox fly down here to Anaheim. Toward the hole, but an easy 2-step to the right Cabrera pick. And he's got it. Right now is making it look oh so easy. Yudieski Betancourt, the hitter. Yudi was shaking like a leaf in the clubhouse yesterday before the ball game. They thought food poisoning, but flu-like symptoms, and was in the lineup last night. Had a couple of base hits. So apparently he's all right.
Rick Griffin, the trainer, gave him some medicine and watched him closely.
One. First baseman, Kendrick. 2 down. So Howie Kendrick, no problem with that. You can reserve a Safeco Field suite for your group, your family, your friends, for one of the exciting games during the upcoming homestand next week. You can watch the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Angels from the most unique and comfortable setting in sports. A Safeco Field suite. Make plans for your suite. Call 206-346-4001 during regular business hours. Here's Chris Snelling. Snelling sent up as a pinch hitter against Frankie Rodriguez last night in the 9th inning. That's a nice welcome back to the big leagues, huh?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Skip.
And the next pitch misses high. Snelling, young man from Australia, he's only 23 years of age, and you know the story of all the injuries that he's had. Case remains, he's never had more than 29 at-bats in the major leagues.
And that was that September call-up when he hurt his knee rounding third the first time.
Yeah.
Seems like light years ago.
And He hits it deep but foul. Got around on it just a little bit too much. Very popular in the clubhouse. Born in Florida, grew up in Australia. Dad was a tennis pro. And hit foul off the third base side. A real outdoors type of kid.
Well, they say his strong point, everybody comes up with, you know, a great arm or great speed. His is he can hit. Everybody I've talked to through the minor leagues, they say he can just flat hit. He has instincts to put the ball in play.
And he walks this time, so the Mariners have their first base runner. Good eye. And here comes Willie.
And that was strange, too. A 3-2 count, and Weaver, they chose to go to a breaking ball with Snelling. That shows a little respect. They didn't just throw a fastball away and take their chances.
Fastball away, ball one. One ball and no strikes. And there's that hook that doesn't have that much break to it this time.
Well, you do get a bit of a rush when Weaver is in the windup because he doesn't want to take that long journey with the shoulder and the turn to give the base runner too much time to steal second base. So there's a quickness of the delivery, and that throws him off a bit. And the deception part of the Louis Tiant style goes away.
Strike. For you die-hard Mariner fans, Ron Renicky, who's running the show in the absence of Mike Scioscia, was a Mariner. There he is back in 1983.
Yep, teammate of mine on that team.
Good hard stuff, two-seamer. 2-2.
Good year. I always
because
say
you were here.
I always say any year in the big leagues is a good year. Better than going to work 9 to 5.
And there goes the Aussie, and it's swung on and missed. So Bloomquist becomes strikeout victim number 4, and here in the third, the Mariners get a base runner, but that's it. Not a hit, and we still trail it 1-0. Renicky running the show tonight down here in Anaheim as Izturis steps in and takes a strike. Izturis had that sinking line drive that Ibanez charged, skidded in front of, and let go off his chest and went for a double. And a swing and a miss, and Izturis has scored the only run in the ball game. The Giants and the Dodgers tonight in San Francisco. And that's a 2-1 Giant lead in the bottom of the second.
I think we really see a conscious effort of Felix and Jojima to throw more fastballs in this game, and you see Hernandez step off the mound like that. He doesn't like what's being called.
Slider.
Jamie Moyer had a great game last night. Hits deep into the ball game again.
Moyer had good command of his fastball last night.
Always in contact, huh?
Yeah. There's a little slider that took him out of there right on the inside corner. Ron Renicky. He's the manager now. At least he is for 4 days. What's the difference? He's the bench coach anyway. Here's what he had to say.
I actually happened to ask Mike the ground rules, going over all that, and you know, it's different. You know, even though I'm a bench coach and I'm trying to think along with the manager, when you're doing it, it's different, and there's a lot going on.
Yes, there is. He's a delightful guy. His older brother Gary is a scout for the Baltimore Orioles. Nice family, the Rennickies. A strike down the middle.
Well, before the ball game, of course, Socha and Renicky, they get together on a game plan, but Socha gives him the reins and lets him do everything. I've seen a lot of managers stand in the tunnel and just bark out orders, so they're really still managing. They're just staying out of the view of the umpires. But Socha letting Renicky do everything.
Back up the middle. Behind the bag at second. Seed thrown to first in time by Lopez. Look at the Central Division now. Tigers a 6-game lead over the White Sox and the Twins. Rangers beat the Tigers tonight 2-1. The Twins leading the White Sox 7-3 in the 8th. So you can see the Central. What you don't see is the wild card race, and that the wild card winner, I think Hendu is going to come out of the Central. I think whoever wins the East, Boston or New York, of course, will qualify. I don't think Boston, New York can finish second. Either one finishes second will qualify. I think Central Division is going to spit out the wild card team this year. There's a line drive. Look at that ice cream cone there at third base. Beltre showing a lot of white in the corner of that glove. Look at this rocket. Whoa, you got it. Never a doubt. Here in the third, 3 up, 3 down, still 1-0. Man has been outstanding tonight, allowing only 3 hits, but also allowed the only run in the ball game. It's time for our Aflac trivia question. How many players have averaged 7 or more strikeouts for 9 innings before their 21st birthday? 2, 5, 10, or 15, A, B, C, or D. That young man is one of them right there. I'm quite sure.
Oh, Weaver got jammed his knee a bit when he landed right there and hyperextended. We'll take a look at it. Watch him right when that left leg goes down. It gets caught in the clay right there. And he tells you right now that something's wrong. Twists that ankle.
Follow through.
Yeah, the right ankle turns. And when he steps it down, and he lets you know right there, it gets off of that right ankle. Look at the right ankle.
Yep.
Rolls it right over. He jumps right off of that ankle. Looks like
he's going to try it.
Yeah, he's weight bearing now, so I'm trying to shake off the pain.
And the pitch, by the way, was a strike.
Well, with these young pitchers, you always are careful when they have leg injuries because they start favoring one leg or the other. It can go right up to the arm. And you don't want to hurt those arms.
So he's okay. 2 strikes. Jose Lopez. Kansas City 3-1 now. Top of the 8th, trying to hit a split in that doubleheader. Nicely done by Figgins. How many pitchers have averaged 7 or more strikeouts in 9 innings before their 21st birthday? Well, I don't know how many. I'm just trying to think of names and hard throws. I'd have to think that Bob Feller would be one, right?
Yes, because you have to start thinking of those guys that came to the
up.
big leagues at 19, 20 years old.
Yeah. Bob Feller would be one. Nolan Ryan came to the Mets, I think, at 19. I don't know how many innings he pitched though. And an easy out as Adrian Beltre is thrown out by his tourist. Look at the wild card I was talking about. The Twins are 1 game out of the top spot. White Sox. The Red Sox are 3 back. So that is going to be a heck of a race too. Still, what, 6 weeks to go.
And of course, the Mariners will have a say in the wild card because they play all those teams.
And Ibanez has the first base hit in the ball game for the Mariners. He hits it hard into the hole.
Now that's a relief for both sides. Certainly the Mariners don't want to get no hit, but the Angels, they don't want Weaver to go deep in this game with a no-hitter and not have to take him out of the ball. How would you like to take out a kid with a no-hitter and a shutout in the 8th inning because you're afraid his pitch count in his arm? That's a tough call. So both sides are happy that hit occurred early in this ballgame.
Sexton a strikeout victim in the 2nd.
Although Weaver only has 71 innings pitched this year, but he had some in the minor leagues.
That's a major league pop-up right there. Take a while for that to come down. Finally does. Kendrick makes the catch in foul territory. And the 4th is over. No runs, a hit. And a man left. So as we go to the bottom half of the 4th, still 1-0. The answer, how many pitchers have averaged 7 or more strikeouts per 9 innings before their 21st birthday? There you go. Good doctor. Number 1, then Felix. Bob Feller, we were right. Gary Nolan, hard-throwing right-hander, used to be with the Cincinnati Reds, and Bert Blylow. Yeah.
No Fernando Valenzuela. We never knew how old he was, though.
Yeah. Jared Anderson taking the change up a little bit. And that's into the gap. Going to get down for a base hit. So Snelling gets it back in a hurry.
Yeah, take a look at our new right fielder, Chris Snelling. He gets a good jump on this ball. Nice little turn, gets rid of the ball early, gets it in. The runner has to stop. And one of the cardinal rules of an outfielder, once you get it on its way. And if you're a base runner, you see that ball in the air, you can't tell if it's on line or not. You have to pull up at first.
Juan Rivera walked in the 1st inning.
One good thing, we saw Chris Snelling. He's very, very mobile. Of course, he's had knee operations, a host of other problems, but he's moving very well in the outfield.
Pretty good heat right there. Remember, this kid's not even going to be 21 until the season starts next year. That's playable, easy out there for Snelling. Well, there's plenty of family fun planned at Safe Go Field when these Angels visit for 3 big games. Monday the 28th, VECU Family Night. You can purchase View Reserve tickets for just $10. And Wednesday the 30th, a MasterCard Grand Slam Family Pack Night where you can save up to 40% on 4 tickets, hot dogs, and Pepsis. For more information, visit SeattleMariners.com. A little outside to Howie Kendrick. Kid from Jacksonville. The design of the batting helmet's a little different this year. In Hendo, you got the, it's like you got the slots on them for the air holes and things.
Yeah, vented. They're vented this year, and so your head can breathe. I like it.
Yeah.
Got somewhere for that heat to escape.
Still in the mid-90s. He pulls the string, Mr. Kendrick here. He'll be 3 feet out in front of him. Fastball, however, gets the job done right on the outside corner. 97 miles an hour.
And as I said, Hernandez, he's chosen to use the fastball a little bit more often. And that's just a good pitch on the outside corner. Great location. I don't care who you are. At 97 with that kind of location, going to be tough to hit.
Mike Napoli sent Ibanez right to the fence to get his drive in the second inning. Around. The pitch is well outside. That slider.
One of those situations, Dave, where the pitcher throws a breaking ball in the dirt for a ball. You look for a fastball. You start it early. You swing. And if it's a breaking ball, don't make contact.
Another slider in the dirt.
Sometimes you guess right. You get a fastball. You hit it 5 miles.
Slider. Up and in with a fastball. Breaking ball and a high fly ball hit to deep center field and right back to the wall, and the leap out there, Bloomquist, it's gone. So Mike Napoli, it's been a while, hits his 13th home run of the year, a 2-run bomb, and just like that, it's a 3-0 ball game in favor of the Angels.
Well, you called the sequence, fastball up and in. Probably throw him another breaking ball, but breaking balls hang. We have a catcher at the plate, too. He can think right along with that pattern. He waits to pitch up and in. The breaking ball's probably coming. But might have been good pitch selection, but it's a spinner right in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, we've seen that kid. He's got good power. And here's Reggie Willits now. Willits with great speed showing bunt, but he never did offer at it. Inside corner that time. The 18th home run given up by Felix. First home run since the 15th of July. So it's been over a month. Napoli.
Now there's some more kindling for Willits. He's a slasher, tries to slice the ball the opposite way, a la Ichiro. Use his speed to beat the ball in the ground, beat it out at first. But he hit it off the handle.
That score out there in that second game between Oakland and Kansas City. Kansas City won the first game over the A's 7-1, and I believe that is a final. Kansas City came back and beat Oakland 4-3 in the nightcap. And a swing and a miss, and Willits is down on strikes. So here in the fourth inning, 2 runs on the bomb by Mike Napoli, and as we go to the fifth, it's now 3-0. AJ. Well, Mr. Jered Weaver trying for a slice of history at least tonight to tie a slice of history, and he has been on his game as you look at a couple of strikeouts and the third strikeout to Willie Bloomquist, and he has a 3-0 lead as we go to the fifth inning. And here's Ben Broussard. Broussard, look at that pop up. That is going to land on the moon. No, it's not. It's going to land in Cabrera's glove.
Yeah, what goes up must come down, and there's no money up there when you hit the ball straight up in the air. The Mariners only have 1 hit off of Weaver in this ball game by Ibanez, and that guy right there, he has a 2-run home run. Put the score out to 3. 3-0.
Jojima, a ground ball to shortstop. Right in the inside corner. Cabrera to backhand on the grass, take a step forward and throw him out.
Kind of an instant replay, Dave, of Jojima in the third inning. Same ground ball, same results to Cabrera.
Kansas City, that was not a final in the second game, but Kansas City has added 1 more in the 8th, and they have taken a 5-3 lead over the A's after winning the first game. Outside.
I think as a Mariner, you try to talk yourself into, as a player, the Mariners are going to have a a better time with Weaver the second time around, but he's almost dominating this time as he was the first time he faced him.
Great slider. And a lazy fly ball hit to right field, where Rivera will take care of it, and it's a constant beat as far as Mr. Jered Weaver is concerned. 3 up and 3 down, and it's still 3-0.
Run early in the bottom of the first inning with 2 on and 1 away. Vladimir Guerrero, broken bat, looping single into shallow left field to score. Messier is Turris, 1-0. Then in the bottom half of the 4th inning with 1 on and 2 outs, Mike Napoli straightaway center field, 13th home run of the year. And the Angels have a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. That's our Country Insurance and Financial Services scoring summary. Hello again, everybody. Rick Riz along with David Henderson, and Mr. Jered Weaver has been unbelievable.
Well, the second time around, he's doing the exact same thing he pitched against the Mariners the first time around, dominating the ball game. The strikeout pitches there, the deception, the Louis Tiant delivery is upsetting the Mariner batter.
And there's only 1 hit. Broken bat, ground ball out near second. Lopez there fires back to first in time to get Sean Figgins. Second nice play turned in by Jose Lopez tonight. 1 away for the Angels here in the 5th. 3-0 Angels, and that'll bring up third baseman Messier is Turris. Turris doubled and scored on that base hit by Vladimir Guerrero. Game 2 of this 4-game series here in Anaheim. Mariners trying to put an end to the 8-game losing streak on this road trip. Man, it's been tough, and also trying to snap a 17-game losing streak against the American League West. The last time the Mariners won, June the 11th, when Felix Hernandez beat the Angels.
Now, I think it relieved both clubs when that base hit was there, because Renicky, the acting manager, he would have had to make a decision. If this kid was pitching a no-hitter in the 7th or 8th inning, how do you take him out of a ball game with 100 pitches? So, and you got to protect these arms. So, I'm sure Renicky says, okay, 1 hitter I can pull him out, but a no-hitter and a shutout, there's no way. I got to leave him in there, meaning Weaver, and you got to protect these young pitchers' arms. So, both teams were voting for that hit to go through.
There's a look at Weaver's pitch count. And look at that, over the last 2 innings, through only 17 pitches combined. Fouled away by Turris as the count goes to 3-2. But this guy has been unbelievable. 8-0 record. The major league record for the best start by rookie pitcher Whitey Ford, 9-0 back in 1950. High one hopper behind the bag at first. Richie Sexton pops the ball over to Felix Hernandez for the out on Turris. So 2 outs for the Angels here in the 5th inning. Well, after the game, stay tuned for FSN Live as Bill Kruger will join us in studio. Plus, the last Sonics dancer is revealed before the showdown begins in Seattle Storm. Playoff action, FSN Live after the game on FSN. Two outs for the Angels. They lead 3-0. The batter is shortstop Orlando Cabrera. Ball 1. Felix just 21 years of age. Ground ball, base hit into left field. A single for Cabrera. Felix, 20 years of age. I think I just added 1 to him. 20 years of age, just turned 20 on April the 8th.
Yeah, he'll be 21 going into the next year.
Yeah.
Fastball, inner half, base hit. Doesn't hurt you a bit when you throw your fastball, keep it on the ground. Saves your pitches. Somebody might say, well, he got a hit, Hindu. Well, who cares? It didn't hurt you.
The one Napoli had stings a little bit.
Yeah, that's a home run. Hanging breaking ball.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Well, they pitched Vladdy a couple times on the inside corner the first time around, broke his bat. He opened up the second time around, hit a line drive to third base that almost took Beltre's glove off.
Ball snow cone in the webbing of his glove. AB was able to hang on to it. Line drive the other way. Snelling plays it on the hop. Heading for third is Cabrera. Now he stops the throw in. Bencourt with the cutoff, and Cabrera goes back to the bag at second. Vladimir Guerrero line drive single into right field, and the Angels have 2 on with 2 outs.
Well, I think if you're Cabrera, you see the rookie out there in Snelling, you want to take some liberties, but Snelling has a strong arm. He plays this ball perfectly on one hop, does not gamble and go for the shoestring to get the ball get by him. Throws a strong throw into the cutoff man, and so he gets rid of the ball very quickly. It jumps on Cabrera that rounded that bag, and surprised him that the ball was there in plenty of time.
Cabrera had to hustle back to second base after the turn, so 2 on and 2 outs. Strong throw in by Chris Snelling, getting the start in right field. Ichiro's missing his first start on the season.
Well, Snelling's given everybody notice that I do have a strong arm. I do have a quick release. Just because Ichiro's not out here, guys, don't take liberty on me. I can throw you out. I can get the ball in.
Just recalled from AAA Tacoma, Chris Snelling. Here's left fielder Jered Henderson, who singled and scored in the 4th. He was aboard with 2 outs when Napoli hit the home run to straightaway center field. 3-0 Angels. Ball 1. Anderson 1 for 2 tonight. He had 2 hits last night, including a triple down the left field line. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Right now, 83 pitches for Felix Hernandez, who threw a season high 117 pitches in his last start on Sunday night down in Texas. Swing and a miss at that breaking ball down and in as the count goes to 1-2, and the Rangers really made Felix and all the other pitchers work in that series ender.
Now we'll look at inning by inning, and we see 20 in the 4th, 15 here in the 5th, and 20 in the 1st. So he had a rough first, and he got it under control. A couple of balls off the plate, a blooper, and a broken bat. So he hadn't had much go his way in this ball game.
There go the runners. Swinging a foul back by Jered Anderson. So the runners were taken off. Cabrera from second, Guerrero from first base. Ron Renicky managing this ball game in the absence of Mike Scioscia, who's suspended for 3 games. He started his suspension last night.
Well, that's a situation where Cabrera, he sees something. He's probably seen that it was a breaking ball, get a good jump. You have Bencourt playing very deep behind him. So I'll take third.
Shift is on for Anderson, and a swing and a miss at a breaking ball for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. After 5 innings of play here in Angels Stadium, it's the Angels 3 and the Mariners nothing. 6th inning, the Angels lead by a score of 3-0. Felix Hernandez back inside the Mariner dugout, and Chris Snelling will lead things off against 23-year-old right-hander Jered Weaver, has given up only 1 hit. That came with 2 outs in the 4th inning, and Ibanez single to right field, and that has been it. Ball 1. If anybody knows Jered Weaver, and yeah, he's made 1 start against the Mariners this year, it's Chris Snelling or Adam Jones, because back in late April and early May, he had back-to-back starts when he was at Salt Lake City against the Tacoma Rainiers. Line drive, right field, base hit. Down the line, Snelling is aboard, makes the hard turn. The throw to first base, and Snelling dives back to the bag. Chris Snelling with a leadoff single to right field. Up with the ball, Vladimir. No, that's not Vladimir
Rivera.
That is Rivera.
Rivera down there
right
watching
field.
the base runner, and you say they know each other, and that's why Weaver threw him the 3-2 breaking ball and walked him his last time up. Snelling, very aggressive, makes a wide turnaround first base. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's get back here.
Drop the anchor.
Yeah.
Head on back. But back on April the 29th, Weaver had a no decision in a 4-2 loss against Tacoma when 6 innings gave up 2 runs, 1 earned. Then on May the 6th, a no decision in a 5-4 loss against Tacoma, where he went 6 innings and gave up just 1 earned run. So if you want a scouting report, even though you saw Weaver in July in the big leagues, we'll talk to Chris Snelling and Adam Jones.
Or if you're the manager, play the guys that know him the best, Adam Jones and Chris Snelling. Snelling's in the lineup tonight.
Willie Bloomquist, 0 for 2. Strike on the inside corner. 1-1 on Willie. Fouled away behind home plate, out of play, and it's 1-2. And there is a good example how you can see Weaver can be very, very tough on right-handed hitters. He really shows you his numbers.
A la Louis Tiant.
Very deceptive. Very late trying to pick up the ball out of his hand. The ball just kind of explodes on you with that fastball, that four-seam fastball he throws over the first base to get Snelling back to the bag.
Well, guys like that crossfire, throw across their body, make the right-handed hitters give a bit, meaning bail out of there. It looks like the ball's coming at you, and it's coming on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the 3rd time that Weaver has fanned Willie Bloomquist. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 6th inning. That is strikeout number 5 for Jered Weaver. Well, college football is right around the corner, and FSN is here to get you ready for the season. Tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. for the Huskies preview, followed by the Cougars. Then on Sunday at 4 p.m., it's the Beavers show, followed by the Ducks. Catch the Pac-10 football preview starting tomorrow on FSN. 1 on, 1 away. 3-0 Angels, top half of the 6th. And here's Jose Lopez. Ground ball to third. Up with the ball is Turris. Second for 1. Figgins relay to first in time. Double play. That'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th at Anaheim, where it's the Angels 3 and the Mariners 0. Well, we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. A special guest here at the ballpark tonight, Mr. Mariner, former Mariner Alvin Davis is here this evening. Came up with the Mariners in 1984, was the American League Rookie of the Year. His first at bat, hit a home run. There he is, Alvin Davis, one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. Put together a fine year, his first year in the big leagues in a Mariner uniform. Juan Rivera, the right fielder, leads it off. A strike from Felix Hernandez, 0-1. 1,166 games for Alvin Davis. Makes his home here in Southern California.
Riverside, old teammate of mine, taught him a lot in those years.
Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2 on Rivera. While Alvin Davis was the American League Rookie of the Year, a young left-hander by the name of Mark Langston was the American League Rookie Pitcher of the Year in 1984. Langston winning 17 games and led the league in strikeouts. Great to see AD Alvin Davis. Rivera is 0 for 1, and he takes down and away for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alvin started off the '84 season, played in just 1 game down in the minor leagues at AAA. Kenny Phelps came away with a broken finger on opening day, and Alvin Davis was called up to the big leagues to stay. Chopper to third, charging Adrian Beltre, bare hands, fires to first, and it's in time to get Rivera. So 1 out for the Angels here in the 6th. Well, tickets are going fast for the next homestand at Safeco Field. The Yankees and the Red Sox coming to town beginning on Tuesday. Make plans now to be on hand for one of the biggest homestands of the summer. Lock up your seats today at SalemMariners.com. The Yankees playing a day-night doubleheader in Boston. Today, a lot of baseball at Fenway. Yankees won the first game 12-4. Red Sox are leading the second game by a score of 10-8. They're playing a 5-game series in 4 days at Fenway. They're going to play on Monday, then head to Seattle, talking about the Yankees, to start the homestand with the Mariners on Tuesday. Howie Kendrick fouls one at the plate, and the count is 0-2.
And one footnote about that series, it's 5 games, and with those two offensive, Yankees and Red Sox, the pitching staffs are going to get beat and battered, especially the bullpens. We all know somebody's going to have to bite the bullet and take a 7-run inning for the team.
Fouled away by Kendrick, and the count is still 0-2 in that first game at Fenway. In the top half of the 9th inning, Rudy Hernandez threw over 40 pitches, trying to get 3 outs in the top half of the 9th inning. Ground ball wide of third, charging the ball. Betancourt off balance on to first, and it pulls Sexton off the bag. It gets on by Ritchie. Safe at first base, Howie Kendrick. 1 on and 1 away for the Angels here in the 6th. They lead 3-0.
Now look at this play, running away from first base. Betancourt tries to round it to get his feet pointed toward first, but throws it up the line. Ritchie gives up, and there's a decision you got to make as a first baseman, not run into that runner coming at you and try to reach around and catch that ball. It was too far up the line.
That's going to be an error in the throw by Betancourt. They have charged Niehaus with an error. 1 on, 1 away for Mike Napoli. Hops it up behind home plate above us, and the count is 0-1. Back at the bottom of the 4th inning, 2 outs and a man aboard. Mike Napoli going deep to straightaway center field, his 13th home run of the year.
Now that kind of spinning breaking ball in the middle half. Napoli, of course, has a lot of power. Hit it out of straightaway.
He had gone 4 for 48 coming into this ball game. A strike on Napoli. The count is 0-2. But watching Napoli against the Mariners since he first came up in early May, he doesn't get cheated. He starts that bat, lets it fly. His major league debut on May the 4th, went 1 for 4 against the Tigers with a home run. Down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Felix Hernandez, start number 24 on the season, and his 3rd against the Angels. He's 1-1 against the Angels. June the 11th, won 6-2 here in Anaheim. July the 3rd, lost 7-1 in Seattle. Two and 2.
Now there's one person the Mariners miss when they come to Southern California in that lineup. It's Jeremy Reed. His numbers 22 for 67, a 388 average in this ballpark. He loves hitting here. He's had 3 home runs here when he comes home, and nobody can figure it out. Jeremy Reed, he loves hitting here, and he's on a DL now for 60 days, but he always is an impact player when he comes down here and plays in Anaheim.
Recovering from that broken thumb. He grew up in Laverne, California, which is about 15 minutes away. Fouled away by Napoli, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. So yeah, one of the guys who likes that home cooking here in Southern California, but he's still on the DL. Saw his thumb a couple of days ago sitting on the bench talking with Jeremy, and pretty good scar above at the base of his thumb where there's 9 screws and a plate to repair the broken thumb. He suffered it about a little over a month ago. Up high, ball 3, full count 3-2. Julio Mateo begins to warm up down in the bullpen. Felix Hernandez has thrown exactly 100 pitches.
Now there it is right there, 64 to 36 strikes and ball. Once young pitchers start to get the 100 pitches, see that bullpen start to work.
There goes the runner. Steve Wright 3 call, thrown on to second base, and safe at second is Howie Kendrick with a steal. Almost a strike him out, throw him out double play. They strike out Napoli, but Kendrick safe at second with his 5th stolen base of the year. 1 on, 2 outs.
Now we'll see. Kendrick gets a throw right there. You see the tag, but he's looking to see if Kendrick came off of the bag, and a big sweep tag right there. And you know, he didn't tag it with the front leg, he tagged it with the back leg, and Kendrick thinks he's out. Hernandez thinks he's out, but the only one that matters is Chris Guccione down there at second base, the umpire.
Yeah, Chris saw that front foot come off and over the bag, but the back foot was still on the bag. And here's Reggie Willits, 2 outs.
And I think he would have called him out if Lopez would have kept the tag on him the whole time instead of the sweep tag.
Oh, 0-1 the count on Willits, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Willie Bloomquist made a diving catch in right center field, robbing Willits of a base hit, and Felix Hernandez struck him out in the fourth. Strike with a breaking ball, and it's 0-2 on Willits. On at second base, Howie Kendrick. Check swing, down and in, ball 1, 1-2. Angels only 4 years ago won the World Series 2002 when they beat the Giants in 7 ball games, their first World Series title in 41 years. The Angels were an expansion ball club back in 1961, managed by Bill Rigney. Fouled away behind the plate. Count stays at 1-2 on Reggie Willits. He almost made it to the World Series in 1986 against the Boston Red Sox, but the guy seated to my left had a big home run here in Anaheim to win a ball game and take the series back to Boston. Down and in on Willits for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A long time ago, Rick, 20 years ago.
Can you believe it's been 20 years, Hendu?
Yes, I can.
It's gone by fast. I remember sitting in my apartment in Bellevue watching that game. Watching you hit that home run off of Donnie Moore. You jumping up and down on the first base line, going into that Hendu hop.
Now there's Mickey Hatcher, hitting coach.
Fly ball into left field. Going back, Raul Ibanez is there to make the catch for out number 3. And after 6 innings of play, Angels lead by a score of 3-0. David Henderson on a beautiful night here in Southern California. Top half of the 7th inning, and you see manager Mike Hargrove and Rafi Chavez visiting with Felix Hernandez. 3-0 Angels.
Probably trying to explain why he's out of this ball game after 107 pitches in 6 innings. And Felix trying to talk himself back into going out there in the 7th.
Beltre trying to get the offense going against Jered Weaver tonight, who's given up only 2 hits. Fouled away at the plate. First hit was a 2-out single to right field by Raul Ibanez in the 4th inning. And then Chris Snelling had a line drive, leadoff single down the right field line in the 6th inning. We're in the 7th.
Well, Beltre trying to extend that 13-game hitting streak off of Weaver.
Out of play on the first base side, and it's 0-2 on Beltre. Who has flied out to Willits in center, and he's also grounded out to his Turris at third base. Jered Weaver 8-0 to start his professional career in the major leagues. 2.14 ERA. Pop up down the right field line, giving chase Kendrick, and this one is out of play into that sea of red and white here at Angel Stadium. And it's still 0-2. This year at AAA, Weaver was 6-1 with a 1.99 ERA.
Now those are the kind of numbers that said this league's too easy. Let's try a higher league.
Way up and in, and hits Beltre in the back. So Adrian Beltre hit by a pitch, and he's out at first base here in the 7th inning.
Now a lot easier to get hit by a guy that throws crossfires of the body, because you got to stay in there a little longer. And you look at Hernandez and Weaver, the young guns we call them, start from the strikeout 6-5, and they both pitched 6 innings.
Here's a look at the complete games down through the years, decade by decade. Back in 1976, there were 1,039 complete games. 27% of the total games pitched were complete games in 1976. And every 10 years, it kept getting lower and lower, with more emphasis on the bullpens and pitch counts. Just about 14% in 1986 were complete games of all games pitched, down to 6.4%. And this year, less than 3% of the games started are complete games.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? You've got guys that have more jobs. You have setup men, you have closers that close out games, so you don't need complete games anymore.
You don't see a complete game. It's
dinosaur stat.
Just kept fading away. Raul Ibanez takes low and inside. Ball 2. Well, with the specialization of the bullpens, you had the closers. They come in, work the 9th inning. You got the setup guys in the 8th. Pitch counts in the minor leagues. Just don't see starting pitchers come away with a complete game. Line foul, and that almost picked off first base coach Mike Goff. Maybe got him on the heel. 2-1 on Ibanez.
He's going to throw a little smile at the boys. Ichiro enjoying his day off. That's what we call about a mind relax. When you have a day off, you just sit there and watch a ball game. Ichiro hadn't done that for 360 days.
No. First time taking a seat this year. Line drive the other way. Base hit for Ibanez. Beltre heading for third. Up with the ball is Jered. Henderson, the throw into second base, will keep Ibanez to a single. And the Mariners have runners at first and third with nobody out. And while Ibanez has 2, the Mariner 3 hits off of Jered Weaver.
Now, if the Mariners going to make a run, this is a part of the lineup that has to do it. Ibanez, Beltre on first by getting hit, first and third. Everybody does everything correctly on that. Ibanez pulls in the first and not getting thrown out at second to destroy an inning.
Pitching coach Buddy Black from Longview, Washington, out to check up on Jered Weaver. 2 on and nobody out. Well, the Angels second place in the West, 5 games out. The A's lose in Kansas City 7-1 in game 1 of that doubleheader. And a final in game 2. Kansas City won again. They beat the A's by a score of 5-3. So the Royals helping out the Angels. And the Rangers won in Detroit by a score of 2-1.
Yeah, that's Eduardo Perez talking to Felix. Explaining things to him, the veteran mentor.
A whole lot of teaching going on at this level. Felix, his first full year in the major leagues. He came up last year in early August.
Respect your elders. That's why a guy like Eduardo can talk to him. He will listen.
Richie Sexton with a strike, 0-1. So Richie Sexton right now represents the tying run at home plate. Richie 0 for 2 tonight. He has 25 home runs for the year and 80 runs batted in. Beltre at third, Ibanez at first base. Way outside in the dirt, knocking it down the catcher Napoli for ball 1. 1-1 the count on Richie.
You know, the Angels do have the bullpen hot. Brendan Donnelly down there trying to get heated up real quick. He's their ground ball specialist, split finger guy, comes out of the bullpen. Guys on base.
Angels one pitcher shy down in that bullpen with Kevin Gregg on the suspended list after his involvement in the brawl a couple of nights ago down in Texas. 2-1 on Richie. Donnelly also suspended for 4 games, but he's appealed his suspension. Fly ball into right center field. Coming on quickly, Juan Rivera is there to make the catch, tagging Beltre, and he's going to stop there. The throw to the plate to Napoli, and the Mariners runners will hold at first and third. Richie Sexton flies out. Juan Rivera.
And we always tell you that the score dictates what you're going to do in a ball They're down by 3. There's no way Beltre can get thrown out at the plate. Even though Rivera, it's a nice throw right there on the money, but you got to give the other players a chance to drive you in and to gamble and get thrown out at the plate right there. Richie thinks it's deep enough to score Beltre, but you can't take a chance when you're 3 runs down.
So 1 out. And here's designated hitter Ben Broussard. Breaking ball for a strike. Broussard, 17 home runs. Richie not too happy inside that Mariner dugout. Fouled away, and it's 0-2. Broussard is flied out to Willits in center. He's also popped up to the shortstop, Orlando Cabrera. 4 of his 17 home runs in a Mariner uniform since coming over in the trade late July from the Cleveland Indians. But here's where the Mariners have had a rough time on this 0-8 road trip, trying to get a clutch base hit with a man on in scoring position. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 7th. Well, go to SeattleMariners.com today and check out the brand new way to follow all the action around the league. It's the MLB.TV Mosaic. You can watch up to 6 games simultaneously on one screen. Check it out at SeattleMariners.com. Kenji Jojima is up there. He's got one of the best batting averages with runners on in scoring position in the American League. And he's also batting .388 here in August.
Now the Mariners are down to getting a 2-strike base hit, and those are the backbreakers and the tough ones to get, and the pitch can really work on you.
Outside, ball 1. Jojima has grounded out twice to shortstop Orlando Cabrera. Up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Kenji, a good fastball hitter, should get one right here, but we've seen Weaver behind in the count throw that slider as well. Ibanez on at first. Beltre's on at third base. The tying run is still at the plate now with 2 outs.
And a lot of times behind the count, he will throw that 2-seamer, that sinker that runs down and in, so you can't get it up in the air.
And a swing and a miss. That was the breaking ball. So he came back with that 2-0 breaking ball to make it 2-1.
Yeah, did not give in to Kenji and give him a fastball. Went to the breaking ball.
And another one low and outside for ball 3. 3-1. So behind in the count, throwing a slider and another slider. Now farther behind in the count at 3 balls and a strike on Kenji.
Yeah, what do you do now?
Still looking for that fastball. Over to first base, and Ibanez gets back to the bag. 2 on, 2 outs. Mariners down 3-0 here in the top half of the 7th inning. There's the fastball. Steve right 2 called. 3-2.
Well, he got the fastball he wanted, Kenji, and he let it go by. We call it lulling you to sleep, throwing all those breaking balls, getting in the back of your mind. But you're a fastball hitter, you should look fastball.
Ibanez goes. Swing and a foul back by Kenji Jojima. The count is still 3-2. Didn't get a fastball that time, 3-2. Still a full count, and Ibanez heads back to first base. Beltre's waiting at third. First time in the ball game, the Mariners have had as many as 2 runners on in the same inning against Jered Weaver and trying to cash in. Again, the 3-2. Line drive, left field line, pulled foul. He got a fastball up and in, fouled it away, and it's still 3-2.
Now take a look at those numbers. 366, couple home runs and 20 RBIs or runners in scoring position. And Kenji, he's been very effective, hitting over 300 for the year.
Those numbers with 2 outs. There's 2 outs here in the top half of the 7th inning. Ibanez will take off again. Swing and a miss and a slider. Strike 3, and Jered Weaver works out of a jam, and the Mariners leave 2 runners aboard, and we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's still the Angels 3 and the Mariners nothing. The 7th inning, that's going to be it for Felix Hernandez tonight. He goes 6 innings, throws 107 pitches.
Now you see the 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and that first inning was the doer for him, and a couple of broken bat hits and a C&I hit, and the big 2-run home run by Napoli with a breaking ball. And you take out a couple of mistakes, and Felix pitches a great game. Julio Mateo comes on for the relief, 8-4 record, 28 strikeouts, 20 base on ball. He's got 48 innings pitched. He's been the guy that does it all. And the separation between the setup guys and the closer, Julio Mateo takes the middle inning.
And Mateo takes over. Will face Figgins, Turris, and Cabrera. Jered Weaver getting out of a jam in the top half of the 7th inning. Swinging a foul back by Figgins, 0-1. The Mariners had a chance. First and third, nobody out, and could not score against Weaver. And the problems continue for the Mariners offensively, especially with runners in scoring position on this road trip. And that's a major reason why the Mariners have gone 0-8. Up and in on Figgins. Ball 1, 1 ball, and 1 strike.
And the longer you don't get hits with runners in scoring position, the more pressure you put on yourself. And you can see the Mariners, when they do get runners out there, they're grinding that bat in the sawdust at the plate.
1-2. Figgins 3 for 5, a strikeout against Julio Mateo. Tough little out right here, Sean Figgins. Not the offensive numbers that he normally puts up. He came into the ball game batting .268, 0 for 3 tonight. But over the last 11 ball games, hitting close to 400. But this is the guy that sets up the offense for the bats of Guerrero and Anderson and Rivera. Plus, he's also a guy that can play the outfield or the infield. He's at second base tonight. Inside ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Down in the Mariner bullpen, left-hander Eric O'Flaherty from Walla Walla. Made his major league debut in 2/3 scoreless innings a couple of nights ago down in Oakland. He's 21 years of age. Up and away, full count, 3-2. Line drive, base hit right field. Sean Figgins with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll bring up third baseman Niehaus. Well, the Angels come out to Safeco Field on Monday, August the 28th for an American League West matchup. It all starts with $10 view reserve tickets on BECU Family Night and continues through to Wednesday the 30th. And MasterCard Grand Slam Family Pack Night, when you can save up to 40% on 4 tickets, hot dogs, and Pepsi drinks. For more information, visit SeattleMariners.com. Over to first base to get Figgins back to the bag. He has 44 steals to lead the American League.
Yeah, you want to slow down a ball game, just let Sean Figgins go to first base. The threat of the stolen base The stolen base slows the ball game down.
Line outside on his Turris for ball one. Richie Sexson just kind of towers over little Sean Figgins over there at first base. Richie at 6'8". Figgins over there at first, looks like a sprinter out of the blocks. Ball two, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, in last night's ball game, he stole second, but Kenji threw him out at third, so he is a gambler. Sean Figgins over there first.
He really digs in that back foot as he gets that lead. Now goes back to the bag with a dive and a move to first by Julio Mateo. 1 on, nobody out, bottom of the 7th. Angels a 3-0 lead, 44 steals. Back to the bag one more time.
Yeah, the trick of a pitcher is to vary your cadence. I mean, your pause. Sometimes you just stand there, you go in your stretch and just hold the ball. Try to bury those legs over at first base. Or you come quick. You just vary it every time you throw the ball to the plate.
And another move to first base. Hendu, when you were out there at first base getting the lead, who are some of the toughest guys to read with their move to either the plate or move to first base?
Well, I think some of the guys with the block moves are very quick feet pitchers. And and the slide step guys, because you watch that movement of that front leg.
There goes Figgins, thrown down to second by Kenji, and it was in time, but Lopez couldn't hang on. The throw started to take him into the line. He got his glove on it, trying to put the tag on Figgins, but could not hang on. A stolen base for Sean Figgins, his 45th.
Well, a good jump off the bag, and you look at Figgins, head down all the way, so it's a straight steal. The ball beats him there, like you say. Kenji Dojima threw kind of a screwball in there, and it came up the line. And to get out of the base runner's way, Lopez had to protect himself. The ball gets jarred away.
Up and away in his Turris for ball 4, so he's aboard. And the Angels have runners at first and second, nobody out for Orlando Cabrera.
Now the Mariner defense really has to struggle and hold Sean Figgins over at second base. The double steal is certainly in order.
Figgins on at second. Is Turris over at first base. Beltre is playing up a few steps just in front of the bag at third. Richie Sexson was playing close, and now he's playing back. Behind the runner there is Turris. Infield open on the left side for Cabrera. Up high, ball 1. Fly ball to ground ball ratio. Willie Mateo's a lot of fly ball outs.
And you look at most of those guys, they're fastball pitchers other than Eddie Guardado, but the slider that Mateo throws, the fastball, he doesn't throw really a sinker to get the ball on the ground, so a lot of fly balls. So that takes pretty much the double play ground ball out of the picture to get you out of an inning quick.
You need a ground ball. Give yourself a chance to try to get out of the inning. And mostly fly ball outs with Julio Mateo. Cabrera has 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3, a couple of singles. Strike 1 called, 1-1. His older brother, Holbert Cabrera, played for the Mariners a couple of years ago, then played over in Japan. Figgins and his Turris aboard with nobody out. Ground ball, foul up the third base line. 1-2 on Cabrera. Beltre will move back now with 2 strikes over at third. Pops him up. Infield fly rule is in effect. Automatically out as Cabrera's. Beltre makes the catch. 1 out for the Angels here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now we told you that fly ball was coming with Mateo. He's a high fastball pitcher. Those sliders. Very seldom gets the ball on the ground.
And here's one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball coming up, Vladimir Guerrero, who has 2 hits tonight in a run banded in. He was sawed off and still had enough on the swing, even with a broken bat, to have an RBI single to left field in the 1st inning. He cleared the bases with a 3-run double last night in the bottom of the 7th inning. He has 2 on here in the 7th inning tonight with 1 out.
And of course, with Vladimir Guerrero up, the responsibility of Sean Figgins has changed. It's from Lopez. He has to hold him close.
0-1. Guerrero with runners in scoring position, batting .297.
60 RBI.
4 of his 27 home runs. Mateo turn around and look as Figgins gets back to second base. I haven't seen too many guys go out of the strike zone like Guerrero can and hit the ball hard. Swing and a miss. Guerrero trying to jump out of his shoes at that fastball from Mateo.
I think Rick, I think we've seen this swing before. It was in the All-Star game this year. The ball top of the strike zone. He hit it out of right field for a home run in the All-Star game. This ball was in on him a little bit more and up. Mateo got it by him.
Go up and in a little farther. On the way with a slider. Ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, even on the outside corner a little bit away. Guerrero can still get those long arms extended and drive the ball into right center field like he did in last night's game.
Yeah, I think the object of that pitch is to get him out in front, but as you say, he does have the reach to get the big part of the bat on the ball.
Drive right center field, but shaded that way. Chris Snelling is there to make the catch, and the runners have to stay at first and second. He went the other way, but Snelling was shaded toward right center field to make the grab, and 2 outs for the Angels here in the 7th. Time is called. Mike Hargrove heading out to the mound.
Oh, here we go. That slider we were talking about. It's away. It's a good pitch. Other than Guerrero, he still gets a big part of the bat on it. Chris Snelling, he's playing over there, shading that way, so it's an easy play, and we like the way he gets rid of the ball quickly. Nothing else happens.
Doesn't waste any time, and that's going to be it for Julio Mateo. 2 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Angels lead 3-0. Pitching change coming up. We'll be back after these messages. Eric O'Flaherty out of Walla Walla gets ready for his 2nd major league appearance.
And I think the thing about that, he didn't panic. He didn't walk everybody and throw a bunch of pitches. He threw strikes, just what the doctor ordered. So they bring him in to face Jered Henderson, another power-hitting left-hander, and see how he reacts. Remember, this is the building for the future. We're letting these kids play.
Just 21 years of age, he started off the season at Class A Inland Empire, where he was 0-1 with a save and a 3.45 ERA in 16 games, 2-2, 7 saves, a 1.14 ERA at AA San Antonio. Pitched in 2 games, 1-0 at AAA Tacoma, and here he is in the big leagues. Jered Anderson, 1 for 3. Sends a fly ball into center field. Willie Bloomquist camps underneath and makes the catch, and the side is retired. O'Flaherty got the final out here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Way to go, get it. We go to the top half of the 8th. Angels lead 3-0. Outstanding pitching by the 23-year-old right-hander Jered Weaver tonight for the Angels.
Well, you want to see some of the pitches that you're trying to handle if you're the Mariners. The sidewinding breaking ball, the Louis Tiant effect, and the fastball that runs in and up. And these are some strikeouts with guys on base. The catcher stands up for the high fastball. He's hitting the glove. He's throwing a lot of breaking balls, getting guys out. The Mariners didn't do anything to Weaver with guys on base. Didn't score a run.
And that's our GMC Professional Grade Spotlight, brought to you by Valley Oldsmobile Cadillac GMC Truck in Mount Vernon. And the new pitcher for the Angels, right-hander Scott Shields. Yuniesky Betancourt leads things off. Foul ball right to the second baseman. Sean Figgins gobbles it up and gets Betancourt at first. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 8th. 3-0 Angels. And here are the numbers for Jered Weaver's 7 scoreless innings.
Very similar to the first time he faced the Mariners. 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, hit a batter, but 103 pitches in 7 innings. The big one, though, no run. Now Scott Shields, look at those numbers. 65 2/3 innings pitched. 68 punch-outs. He had an inning and a third last night's ball game. Faced Lopez, Beltre, and Ibanez.
And there's Ichiro on deck. Didn't get the start tonight, but he's going to pinch hit for Willie Bloomquist here in the 8th inning. Chris Snelling takes a look at ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Snelling walked in the 3rd and lined a base hit, a single to right field in the 6th inning off of Weaver. One of the few hits. One of the 3 off of Weaver. 2-1. Lifts a fly ball into shallow left field. Coming up is Jered Anderson to make the catch, and the Mariners have 2 outs here in the 8th. So here's Ichiro out to pinch hit. Oh, that's going to extend the games played streak for Ichiro. And here is the definition of the Major League Rule Book. The player has to play at least 1/2 inning on defense, or a player completes a time at bat, which Ichiro is going to do. Or a pinch running appearance shall not by itself extend a streak. The streak is still going to be alive. 361 consecutive games now for Ichiro. Fouls one back, 0-1.
Yep, and at bat is different than just pinch running.
You know, the amazing thing about Cal Ripken's unbelievable streak of 2,632 consecutive games was that he played in just about every inning of 2,632 consecutive games.
Yeah, he wasn't one of those guys that took the 7th and 8th inning off when there was a blowout. He just kept playing.
1-2 on Ichiro. Miguel Tejada right now for the Orioles, riding a long consecutive games played streak. Ground ball right side. Sean Figgins over to plug up the hole. Off balance throw to first, and it's in time to get Ichiro for out number 3 after 7.5 innings of play here in Anaheim. Angels lead 3-0. Let's take a look at what's on deck, brought to you by McFarland Cascade. Tomorrow night, Game 3 of the 4-game series here in Anaheim. Jared Washburn, the ex-Angel, going against John Lackey in Game 3. Pre-game at 6:30 on FSN. And then Sunday afternoon, Jake Woods will make his first Major League start, another ex-Angel. And Urban Santana will get the start for the Angels. Our pitching matchups brought to you by Comcast. Defensive changes. Chris Snelling, who was in right field, is now playing center field, and Ichiro takes over in right. He pinch hit for Willie Bloomquist, who was the starting center fielder tonight. Bottom of the 8th inning, Angels lead 3-0. Juan Rivera leads it off against Eric O'Flaherty. Down and away, ball 1. What a rise to the big leagues this year for this young man out of Walla Walla. A ball, AA, AAA, and now the big league. Second big league appearance. Swing and a miss. He got that slider down and in underneath the hands of Rivera. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike, and that's a good pitch right there.
Now the trick is to be deceptive with your pitches. They're supposed to all look alike when they leave your fingers, and that makes it tough for the batter to recognize which way the ball's going.
And that was the pitch that O'Flaherty was talking about that helped get him to this point. Low for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. He said he was working with Brad Holman, the pitching coach at AA San Antonio, and he said he got him to really get a lot of bite on the slider, where slider was more of a slurvy pitch, had more break to it, a slower break. But he really helped him with his slider. And a swing and a miss by Rivera as the count goes to 2-2. And he said that's where things really took off for him this season.
And you have 2 pitchers in Mark Lowe that started at the same place at the beginning of the league year, and they end up in the big leagues, and they're really, best buddies, and you just see them running together in the afternoon about 3 o'clock, and always in the locker room together.
How about that? Quite a story. Off the side of the mound to the shortstop and skips on by Yuniesky Betancourt and into left center field. Rivera gets aboard with a leadoff single, and Betancourt upset with himself. He didn't get his glove on it. Well, tonight FSN reveals the final Sonics dance team member with an automatic bid to make the squad. Starting tomorrow, the dance-offs begin as the ladies battle head-to-head for the remaining spots, and you can help pick the rest of the team. Tune in tonight at 10 to meet the final Sonics dancer on FSN. 1 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th. 3-0 Angels. Here's Howie Kendrick. Foul tip into the glove of Jojima. 0-1. Talking with Eric after that appearance in Oakland the next day, and he says, man, it was nice to get that first one out of the way. Swing and a miss, tied him up, and it's 0-2 on Kendrick.
And I think the timing was good too, because you don't want to bring a kid up and have him sit down for a week and then start creating these pictures of how things are going to go, and you see a lot of home runs and things going wrong, so you just talk yourself into a bad outing.
Bounces that pitch. Kenji knocks it down for ball 1, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And they wisely let O'Flaherty intentionally walk Frank Thomas during that inning that he appeared in Oakland 2 nights ago, and then he came back and he struck out Eric Chavez, a tough left-handed hitter. That is, folks, family, friends will be in Seattle when the Mariners get back home. Swing and a miss by Kendrick. Strike 3. O'Flaherty fans, Howie Kendrick, his second major league strikeout. 1 on and 1 away for the Angels here in their half of the 8th. Well, attention all Storm fans. FSN is airing the first playoff game against the LA Sparks. Relive the action of game 1 tomorrow at 12 p.m. on FSN. Here's catcher Mike Napoli, who hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 4th inning with Jered Anderson aboard. Ball 1. Felix Hernandez started the ball game tonight. 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 6. Popped up on the right field side, and this one will get out of play. 1-1 to count on Napoli. The Angels put it all together 4 years ago. Their very first title in 41 years. They were an expansion ball club in 1961. But 4 years ago, 2002, the Angels won the World Series against the Giants. 7 games. Inside, off the glove of Kenji. Ball 2, 2-1.
Rick, I think what we'd like to see is O'Flaherty throw a sinker down and away and get a ground ball, double play. He's going to need that pitch if he's going to stay in the big leagues. If you can throw sliders and strike people out, but you can't just stay there continuously. You got to have something that goes into the hitter and away from the hitter.
Made a ground ball right here, but way low and inside for ball 3, 3-1. Rivera at first base, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss. Full count, 3-2. Infield double play depth. Betancourt at short. Lopez at second. This is ball 4, so Mike Napoli with a walk, and the Angels have runners at first and second with 1 out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Well, O'Flaherty with a little jam here in the bottom of the 8th inning, trying to get out of it. He'll face center fielder Reggie Willits,
who just moves around to the other side of the plate, a switch hitter. And O'Flaherty has stayed with that slider down and in to every right-hander. It ended up walking Napoli.
And now time is called as Jojima heads out to the mound to change up the signs with O'Flaherty. And in the meantime, right-hander Mark Lowe begins to warm up. Mark's sporting a new haircut given to him by J.J. Putz prior to the ball game. One out, 2 on for the Angels. They have 3 runs on 9 hits. Mariners no runs, only 3 hits tonight. Willits 0 for 3. Takes low. Ball 1. Ground ball out to Betancourt at short. Second for 1, and Lopez lost the ball on the transfer. They got the out at second. He lost it trying to take the ball out of his glove, so they got the force on Napoli at second base. Over to third goes Juan Rivera, but they lost the opportunity to try to turn the double play, and safe at first is Reggie Willits.
Now you see the hesitation. Betancourt gives it to him, and then he fumbles it getting out of the glove, so he has the out at second, but he loses the out at first. And Willits with good speed running down the first. He knew he had to hurry to get that ball across the diamond to complete the double play.
So 2 on, 2 outs. And here's Sean Figgins. So Eric O'Flaherty now trying to pick up his defense after they failed to try to turn the double play. Figgins 1 for 4, takes a strike, 0-1.
Well, he got the ground ball for the double play, and if you're on the coaching staff, you mark that down as a job well done by O'Flaherty. Get the ground ball, he just didn't get the double play.
Here's just another test for the young left-hander. Inside for ball 1, 1-1. Rivera on at third. Willits the runner at first base. 1-1 to Figgins. Blown outside. Ball 2, 2-1. We had a chance to see O'Flaherty a few times during the spring. I always thought that was a great opportunity for a young pitcher to appear in some spring training games with a big club. Line drive right field. Ichiro is there, and he makes the catch, and O'Flaherty works himself out of a jam. He picked up his defense. No runs, a hit, and 2 are left on. Nice job by Eric O'Flaherty, his second major league appearance. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Last try for the Mariners. Angels lead 3-0. All right, Angie, we go to the top half of the 9th inning. Nice job by the young left-hander Eric O'Flaherty getting out of trouble in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the 9th inning. 3-0 Angels. Here's a look at the Nissan in-game box score. Not a whole lot of hits tonight. Only 3, and Raul Ibanez has 2 of the 3. Chris Snelling has the other one. We have a new first baseman for the Angels. Rob Quinlan takes over at first base for Howie Kendrick, and the new pitcher for the Angels, their closer, Francisco Rodriguez. 3-0 Angels.
Oh, he had a save last night. That was number 32 of 35. You see on the board, 2.17 ERA. The strikeout pitch is still there at 64. And the league is only batting 200 against him. He's a tough customer with that big breaking ball.
Yeah, he is. Here's Jose Lopez to lead things off. Fastball, strike. Lopez, Beltre, Banez for the Mariners here in the 9th inning. Jered Weaver, the starter, went 7 scoreless innings. Scott Shields in relief had a 1-2-3-8. Fouled away, and the count is 0-2 on Lopez. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Francisco Rodriguez. Look at Napoli says right down here. Left it up, popped up into right field over is Juan Rivera near the line, and he's there to make the catch. 1 out for the Mariners here in the 9th inning. Well, the Boeing Greater Seattle Classic teed off today at the TPC in Snoqualmie, and Masi Kuramoto tied a course record with a 963 today. He has a 2-stroke lead over David Edwards. Former big league pitcher, now Champions Tour golfer Rick Rhoden shot a 3 under. So highlights tonight and every night after the Mariners on FSN Live. Boeing Greater Seattle Golf Classic. Adrian Beltre with a drive down the left field line and toward the corner, and this one is a fair ball. And it's gone, a home run. It's a home run.
Yeah,
the call is made by the third base umpire, Tim Sheeta. I'm going with Sheeta right now.
Yeah, but we saw the fans going over and grab it. It was a ball that went right into the corner. The fans went out and grabbed it, and Tim Sheeta didn't see that, but the ball ends up out of the ballpark. And Jered Henderson saying, wait a minute, they went over and grabbed it.
Right now, it's a home run for Beltre, his 14th of the season down the left field line. It's that little short wall in the corner.
Don't write it in ink because these umpires are going to get together and they're going to go look at this, and the fans reached over and grabbed this ball.
So now the umpires get together. Here's a look at it one more time.
Right in the corner, right by the line. See, it's way low. That's not a home run.
Man reached out with his glove and he made the catch.
Nice catch by the guy in the white shirt.
And now they're going to send Beltre to second base.
And that's right. I mean, the whole point of the umpiring crew is to get it right. They get together and they see the fans. The other umpires look too, and they say, hey, I saw a fan reach over and grab it.
Right.
We saw it. Tashida didn't see it because he was running toward the play. And to get it right, I know Hargrove's going to be mad. Don't change your call, but it is the right call.
So now Mike Hargrove is getting the explanation from the umpires, Tim Sheeta.
So I'm glad you didn't write it in
Reed. So I was watching the ball. Yeah, the fan reached out. And I'm just going with the third base umpire. That's his call. However, the second base umpire, and in this case it's Chris Guccione, as he went out, had a pretty good look and a better angle than the third base umpire, Tim Sheeta, going out, who eventually made the call. You saw Sheeta kind of veering off to his right to get a better look at it.
And Garrett Anderson gave you the indication when he was running over there, I'm going to play this ball off the wall for a double. And then he saw the home run call, and he said, no way it's a home run. You saw the look on his face. He's saying the fan reached over and grabbed it. And so I think the whole point is to get it right.
So Beltre is on at second. Here's a look at it again. Would it have gone out?
No.
The fan reached out. And there's the other fan saying, oh, no, that wouldn't have been out. It would have hit the top of the wall. That's a little bitty wall, only about a 3-foot high wall, 3.5-foot high wall, if that, in the corner, in left field and in the right field corner. So they have taken the home run away, put Beltre in at second, 1 on, 1 away. It's still 3-0 Angels.
And it extends his hitting streak to 14 games. Beltre.
Raul Ibanez takes up high, ball 1. There's the fan who caught the ball.
They're telling him that's a bad idea. It could cost the Angels a run. You got to leave the ballpark. Interference.
Strike one on Ibanez, 1-1. And the dirt gets away from the catcher Napoli, and down to third base on the wild pitch goes Adrian Beltre. Infield is back with one out with the 3-run advantage. Two and one on Raul, who has 2 hits tonight. Off starter Jered Weaver. And he's 4 for 8 against Efron, Francisco Rodriguez. Up and away, ball 3, 3-1. And the fan who made that catch on the ball hit by Beltre is being let out of the ballpark. Interfered with the drive that would have been off the top of the wall.
Trying to explain to his young son why we have to leave early.
Fouled away. The count is full 3-2. Originally called a home run by the third base umpire Tim Sheehan. Then the umpires got together. And Beltre was sent to second base.
I think it's tough for a fan. You see a ball coming to you. You've been waiting for 9 innings, and it
Yeah.
comes to you. You're going to go for it.
Plus you got a glove.
Yeah, you're going to go for it.
You're going to use it. Fouled away, and the count is still 3-2.
I mean, that's a great memory for a young kid at the ballpark. Your dad catches a home run ball.
Yeah.
And you know he's going to give it to you if you're a 3 or 4-year-old. So your dad's going to go for it.
Now he's got to explain why he can't stick around for the fireworks. Popped up and out of play, and it's still 3-2. Ibanez battling Francisco Rodriguez. How about, what was it, 1996-97? Little Jeffrey Meyer at Yankee Stadium reached out over the wall in the big game between the Yankees and the Orioles. And
gave Jeter a home run.
Yeah. And clearly, little Jeffrey Meyer reached over the wall, but it was called a home run for Jeter. Now he's a hero in New York. Hop up, straight up behind home plate. Napoli, the catcher, off with a mask. Leans back and he makes the catch. The last second, Napoli had to reach back to his left. 2 outs for the Mariners here in the top half of the 9th inning. That ball has that backspin. It's going to come back on you. And Napoli almost ran a little bit too far.
Now that's why those catchers turn their back to the infield, because they know the ball is going to come back toward the infield, and the spin on the ball, but sometimes the wind grabs it too.
Here's Richie Sexton, 0 for 3 tonight. 0-1 the count. Mariners were blanked a couple of nights ago up in Oakland 4-0. Richie trying to put up a crooked number up on the scoreboard. All 1-1. Beltran at third base with 2 outs. There's 2 at-bats against Rodriguez. Fouled away off the top of the screen behind home plate, and the count is 1-2 on Richie. Everybody on their feet here at Angels Stadium in Anaheim. Game 2 of the 4-game series. Mariners no runs, only 4 hits. Angels 3 runs on 9. Swing and and a miss. Strike three, and the ball game is over. The Mariners are shut out for the 14th time this year. The Angels blanked the Mariners by a score of 3-0, and Jered Weaver goes to 9-0 to start his major league career, and that ties Whitey Ford's mark as a rookie back in 1950 with the New York Yankees 56 years ago. So the Angels blanked the Mariners tonight, a final score of 3-0. The Mariners are now 0-9 on this 11-game road trip. Jered Weaver with the win at 9-0. Let's head on back to our FSN Live studios to Angie and Bill.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Rick said it all. I mean, this guy has now linked his name to Whitey Ford as the only two rookies to start their careers 9-0. And when you do something like that, it's not that strange that we're seeing the kind of performance that we saw tonight. This kid's special.
Scoring summary is the Angels blank the Mariners tonight, a final score of 3-0. The Angels get run number one in the bottom of the first inning. Vladimir Guerrero, a broken bat looping single into shallow left field, scoring Mesier Turris, 1-0 Angels. And then in the bottom of the fourth inning, 1 out and 2 outs, Mike Napoli with a home run to straightaway center field. But Napoli, his 13th of the year, 3-0 Angels. And then in the seventh inning, the Mariners trying to get the Weaver, but a swing and a miss for strike three right there on Broussard. Kenji Jojima goes down swinging. The Mariners leave, 2 runners stranded. Weaver very tough.
Now the tough way to go. They had their chance, and here we go in the 9th inning off of Rodriguez. Beltre gives an attempt for a home run. A fan reaches out. It ends up to being a double. He clearly reached over and grabbed that ball. No home run. The Mariners have a runner on. Beltre's at third right now. The 3-2 breaking ball for Sexton. Strike through. Another runner left on base. The Mariners couldn't get a clutch hit all day.
So the Mariners are blanked for the 14th time this year. And tomorrow night in Game 3 of the 4-game series, they'll try to snap a 9-game losing streak on this 11.